CapitalofCombat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch.
Rob Jarrell.
And today we're going to preview this Saturday's welterweight fight between Tim Bradley and Jesse Vargas, which is going to be happening on HBO. They do have a undercard fight with Oscar Valdez, who's an up-and-coming guy. Pretty much kind of like a showcase fight. But we're going to talk about the main event only, which is Bradley and Vargas, like I just said. We got Vargas, who's moving up from 140 pounds, formerly trained by Roy Jones for a spell, now trained by Eric Morales. He's had, two highly profile guys. Tim Bradley, who is one of the top ranking guys in the welterweight division, unfortunately outside of the PBC umbrella, where the rest of the guys are, which most likely means he won't actually ever get to fight those guys, which is a travesty.
Yeah.
But he's still got to make his money, and he's got to fight the best available people that he has. Unfortunately, that's not a lot of people. So we got this fight with Jesse Vargas. Now, Jesse Vargas is a decent fighter. He's got a little bit of skill. Got some grit. We've seen him have to dig deep and win a few fights. Unfortunately, none of those fighters were the caliber of Timothy Bradley. Now, even in his shallow pool of fighters available at top rank, he was still able to go 24 rounds with the second best fighter of this generation, in Manny Pacquiao. That speaks volumes. He was also able to go 12 rounds with Juan Manuel Marquez, who is another great of this generation. So in Bradley, this is going to be the biggest step in Jesse Vargas' career. So this is a huge opportunity for him to put himself out there in the spotlight if he can win this fight and say, hey guys, I'm here, I'm making noise, what's up? What you got, Rob?
Yeah, it's a huge step up, but it's a huge step up against a guy who in the welterweight division, if you ask me, is the third best fighter at 147. That's arguable. You can argue between him and Khan. Got to understand his only loss is to Manny Pacquiao, even though the win was controversial. And his draw was a controversial draw. Anyone who watched that fight, in my opinion, saw that Tim Bradley won that fight after that cut over his eye. So this Bradley is not only coming out as just a more experienced fighter or even more talented, but he's still hungry. You would never question this guy's hunger in the ring. He wants to be the best. He doesn't do anything great, but it's everything extremely good.
Yeah.
The only thing he doesn't have is that concussive power. Now for this fight, it's a little different. He abandoned his vegan diet for this fight, which hopefully, and we've had this discussion off camera, did that contribute to his lack of knockouts? Tim Bradley is a very good body puncher. And he shows that he hits harder toward the body than he does upstairs, because he tends to kind of cuff and he doesn't close his fist. It seems like he doesn't close his fist. So he's going to be going for the knockout.
I believe he is.
Hopefully, if he's going to go for the knockout, he sets it up. That is the difference between his fights with the difference in the fight with Probotnikov, where he chose to box and then lay the boom instead of trying to knock him out and go toe-to-toe with a concussive, cement-like puncher in Probotnikov, or trying to knock Pacquiao out in one punch instead of boxing and setting up those punches. Vargas, on the other hand, is really going to have to do one of two things. He's going to have to bite down and weather the storm, because Bradley will, when he hits Bradley, Bradley comes, if you don't hurt him, Bradley will come back with 4 or 5 throwing punches. And even if you do hurt him, as seen as the Probotnikov, he was out on his feet and his body said, just throw punches, just throw punches. And to be honest, quite a bit of them landed against Probotnikov, even though he was out on his feet.
Yeah, and that,
but he has to avoid the head.
Yeah, that in itself speaks to his work ethic. He worked so hard that his body knew what to do even though his brain was not connected correctly. You could see his eyes, the lights were on, nobody was home, but his body was still reacting in a manner to show that he could still do what his body programmed it to do. That takes a lot of guile, a lot of toughness, a lot of heart, and like I said, some serious work ethic. This guy's working hard. The question is, was Vargas able to work that hard because he had to switch trainers mid-camp?
To Eric Morales.
Right. I touched on it earlier. He was with Roy Jones. Roy Jones is still fighting. He still has his commitments to commentate on HBO. And those were getting in the way of his training camp with Vargas. So Vargas asked if he could find another trainer. Jones said okay. He finds Eric Morales. Now, previously to hooking up with Morales, how was his training going? Was he able to train often? Was he able to really pick Roy's brain because he's so busy? Those are those intangibles that are there that we don't know about, that we can find out about on Saturday. Now, talent-wise, it really isn't that close. Like, Vargas is an okay fighter. Bradley is a really good fighter. Pick for me would be Bradley by decision. I think Bradley's going to win a pretty wide decision. Vargas is going to try his damnedest. He's going to give it his all. He's going to show up and be the warrior that he is. Unfortunately, it won't be enough because of all those things that Rob and I previously talked about when it comes to Timothy Bradley. The guy's tough. The guy's skilled. The guy does things very well. And he still wants to show that he's the best. And that, on top of him having that skill level higher than Vargas, is why I think he's going to win. Unfortunately, we really don't know what's going to happen next for him because, like we said, the whole PBC thing, most of the welterweights with a name are tied up in that. Bob Arum and Al Heyman don't do business with each other. One of the reasons why it took 5 years to get Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao together, and that entire time, both guys were like, this is terrible, I don't want to deal with this guy. You're lucky I'm making so much money because otherwise I wouldn't be dealing with you. So
at that point, you have Golden Boy and see where that goes because Top Rank and Golden Boy now are re-engaged in a working relationship.
But I don't even know who they have at welterweight. So.
Probably, I think at this point, was it Saddam Ali?
That's a good fight for Tim Bradley.
That's a good fight. That's a guy who is undefeated and is a really good fighter. So
yeah, he's hungry. He's looking to show that he's one of the best. And like we said, all you can do is beat the guys that they put in front of you until that the politics stuff works itself out. And if it doesn't, you still got to fight your career and keep it going.
That's right.
So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed the fight. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share it with your friends. If you guys have anything you want to add, you can add it down in the comments section. Any questions, same thing. You can hit us up on Facebook, CapitalofCombat, Google+, same name. You can hit us up on our email, capitalofcombat@gmail.com. If you have not, make sure you subscribe. Check out the technical toolbox, the combat mailbag. If anything develops in between the release of this video and the fight, look out for the quick counter episodes that will add on to this video. And with that being said, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
This is round one, and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and cost. My fists are on fire. I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage. Keep thinking that it's a game. I kick rhyme, hurricane. I told them I don't play. I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.